Hello everyone, my name is Flare Bliss and we've returned back to Pedestal. Possibly our last time on the game as we get towards the finale of this tale. But what revelation did Aoi suddenly find? Let's find out then. Can't go to there. Natsume's? Not Natsume's. Who is it then? Hagigigi? Nope. Was it the cat hag lady? Oh, it is, isn't it? Oh dear. Last time wasn't great. You again. Told you I won't speak with batters. Be off with you. Wait, Mrs. Tuamura, I'm begging you. Please tell me something. What you said before about cats actually being demons who call up bad things. Where did you hear that from? Because I mean, before, you cared for your cats, so you hadn't heard of it at the time. Which means you learnt about that later, right? Could it be someone told you? Yep. Who told you? Was that person what you would call a good one? Because you said that Natsume, the girl who looked after the cats with you, was a bad one, right? She was deceiving you by not saying that cats were demons, and that's why you thought she was a bad kid. What would make you, the person who told you about cats a good kid, right? Am I right? Yep. Was that good kid a student at Cosmos Girls Academy? That's what you said to me at first, that there were good kids and bad kids at that school. Did Akari tell you? Yep. That bad and tricked me. Made me care for cats without telling me the truth. Told her I'd strangle them all cause they'd summon up bad, but she told me to stop. Happened a while after that bad girl started to see me. Was on a walk when a good girl came up to talk. Made me glad nothing along to what I said, so I invited her to the house. Girl started to come have tea at my house after that. Was glad cause I had nobody to talk to, just cats. Having cats was fine, but better to have people, I realized. Started to look forward to that day, so that girl coming by. One day, girl says she had something that was hard to say, but she wanted to tell me. I asked her what, and she teaches me cats are demons, that they call up bad things. Told me my son's deaf, having to live by myself. It was all the cat's fault. That having cats around hurt my relationships with the neighbors. All of it was bad stuff the cats brought about. And you believed that, Mrs. Tuamura? That girl wouldn't lie. Always listened to what I had to say. My eyes were opened thanks to her. So, goodness sakes, couldn't afford to let him summon any more bad. So I caught and strangled any that walked by the house. At night went searching for any nearby. Now the house is all clean. The neighbors calmed down too. Bad kids stopped coming. Something good's sure to come to me again. Mrs. Tuamura, what did that bad girl look like? Had long purple hair and a pretty face. The neighbors called her a good girl. Didn't know about that myself. I don't think Shiori would say that, though. Then, what about the good girl? Oh, no, wait. Okay. Oh, tall with short red hair? Haven't seen her since she said she'd be busy and couldn't come by no more. So the one who tried... Oh, goodness sakes. This is Akari. But no news is good news. Thinking she'll get on just fine. Thought you might be a good girl too because you listened to me. But just like that bad girl, you stuck up for the demons and blamed me. What do you youngsters know about me? Nothing. Yet you all uppity. You end up alone. But you know how I feel. Now off of you. Don't come again. But we learned something from all this. Akari. Yep. Akari was the one. Oh no. I've carried on with this investigation to know the truth of Natsume's death, yet I've exhausted everything to do with Natsume. However, now it's Akari, my best friend, who I no longer understand at all. Stealing the letters between Natsume and Hakagigi, aiming to shake Mayuki's self-worth, and worst of all, interacting with the cat hag repeatedly to then feed her nonsense and lead her to dispose of her cats. I knew none of this. Akari didn't tell me anything about it. What did Akari want to do? What was she trying to do? My mind is a mess. I don't get Akari at all anymore, or what I should do. I'll investigate into Akari. If I asked Akari the reasons for her actions directly, I don't know whether she'd tell me. She might just dodge my questions. So before I confirm the truth of Akari, I should research as much as I can. Damn, it's laughable, huh? Even I'm shocked at how freaked out I am, going to these precautions. But what do you expect? I might not have thought I knew Akari completely, but I didn't think I'd become this unsure about her. Honestly, I'm incredibly reluctant. Sneak around to look into my closest friend. But I'm just not able to associate with Akari as if nothing happened while I feel this haziness. I just have to do it. For my future. For myself. I have to look into Akari. Finally, you have come around to realize that she was the evil of all. I feel like I didn't sleep a wink. A notification. What is Akari doing? Seems like a cold. Taking today off. Okay, I'm fine. Tell Kageyama. I'll be there tomorrow. Take care. Why? I hate that I feel relieved over my own friend being sick. But I mean, I don't know how I should look when I next see Akari. Besides, I'm investigating her today, so it's convenient that Akari's out. Or is it? Or is she actually out? Is she trying to give you a false sense of security? Hey, Aoi! You done with the Culture Festival feature yet? I gotta check that over soon. You okay? You look really unwell. Are you feeling sick? I barely slept. I'm fine. Just a little tired. Sure. But don't push if it's hard, okay? Seems like Abby's out sick herself. Let's get started. But who should I ask? I feel like it'd be bad to do too big of an investigation. Everyone knows Akari and our friends. And I are friends. So we'll probably be dubious. Plus, unlike Natsume, Akari isn't a celebrity or anything. There might not be a point to asking too broad of a group. That said, if limiting my targets means I don't get info, there's no point. What should I do? Let's try asking the active clubs, but keep it to second years and adults. Excluding the orchestra club though. They're probably busy before their upcoming concert, and if I do happen to cause an issue, it'd be big trouble. I mainly want to hear from girls who have been here since junior high. Maybe there's people who can tell me about a side of Akari I don't know. With Akari taking the days off, now's my only chance for questioning. Okay, let's go. Something tells me that she is not actually off, but she is just trying to give you a false sense of security. What is Akari Abbey like? A person in which we should have asked around, but of course Akari Abbey was with us all the time. Abby, huh? Well, you know best? Oh, whatever. She's smart, yeah? She violates the dress code and comes late a lot, but the teachers give it a pass because of her grades. Her grades, you say? So those... Hold on. So today is a Thursday. And the off days are cooking, art, and literacy. Oh, that's called literary. Cafeteria? Nobody at the cafeteria aside from me. Head chef Abby. She looks cold, but she'll chat with you quite a bit. I like that girl. Okay, so we've learned nothing new from that. More from Bottles. Library. Let's see. Oh, Abby. She seems blunt, but can be surprisingly polite. And I think she's a nice, sensible girl. She diligently serves as a library assistant too. But what roles did she serve as a library assistant? So not here. Computer lab. That reminds me, I talked to Abby a bit before the culture festival. I said, "You're sure friendly with Uri, since you're looking into all that stuff, right?" And Abby said she likes you, Uri, because you're amusing to be around. How nice. You said that, Akari. Yep, you're amusing to be around, but it doesn't mean it's in a positive light. How should I put it? She's kind of dry. I've never seen her passionate about something. I've seen her reading in the library after school sometimes, so she probably likes to read. Likes to read, likes to absorb information, likes to learn as much about people as she likes to can, even as a bystander. I was here in junior high, but we didn't come in contact, so I don't really know. Or maybe the teachers would know. I've already talked to 2 adults so far. Aren't you and Abby friends? Why are you looking to her? Won't Abby get mad if she finds out? What's with the laugh? What's with the laugh? Okay, I want to find out what the laugh is. She's smart and cool. I like her, but we've only talked a little bit, and she won't join our society. Abby's smart, you know. I invited her to join once, but she said clubs were a hassle and refused. But she did help you out, Uri. Lucky you having such an excellent assistant. A bit too good for our own... I was going to say, a bit too good for our survival. Our circumstances. Staff room, principal's office, tennis court. Sorry to bother you, Sakura. Can I ask you something sort of strange? Sakura, what do you think of Akari? Let's see. I think she's smart and understands people's feelings well. She really comforted me before. Also, I'm envious of her height. I wish I was as tall as Abby-senpai. Do you have a second, Uri-senpai? Does the newspaper association have a day they take off? Not one set in stone, no. Heck, our active days are whenever. It's kind of just do it when you wanna. Is that so? Let's see. I don't know. We're in different classes and all. Could you ask someone else? I'm so tired. I want to go home. Same here. She's tall, huh? Feels like she'd be a good fit for sports, but I don't think she plays, does she? Oof, it's cold. Should I put on a tracksuit for practice? Yeah, they do say it's near winter in the game. I was with her as a library assistant in junior high. She complained about hassle a lot, but she did for work. I'm sweaty, so maybe I should change. I might catch a cold in wet gym clothes. Oh, I'm a library assistant like Abby. We talk sometimes, and she seems really easygoing. Starting player picks are coming up. Nervous. I want to be in lots of games as a third year. I see her at the library sometimes. Think she's a library assistant? Or does she just like to read? Uncertain. So close to being a third year. I hope lots of new members join next year. Hope the newspaper club can get fresh blood too. Thank you. So, we've never talked at all. I see her walking with you often though. Yeah, I got hit with a ball again. Hope it doesn't bruise. Oh, Abby. I picture her as tall and cool. We've never talked, so I don't know her personality or anything. Oh, you seem kind of pale, huh? It's getting chilly, so be careful about getting a cold. Yep, colds always seem to be more prevalent in the winter months because people tend to stay indoors more. Let's see. Ah, there are others here. Not everyone I can ask though. I was in Abby's class in junior high. Say, do you know Abby hates bugs? Especially butterflies and moths, I hear. Surprising, huh? I wonder if there's some kind of leverage we can pull with a insect or anything like that. It's really fun having a script you wrote performed and getting advice on how to improve it. Hope you can go to a drama contest next year. Abby has kind of a nice figure, right? Hard to tell under that baggy parka though. I wonder if she'd join drama club. She got all sorts of drama going on. It's a little early, but we're currently practicing a play for the new student welcome party. We want to bring in lots of new members and make lots of memories. I've been here since junior high, but I hardly had anything to do with Abby. We didn't really talk. Is my voice hoarse? Am I okay? I'm playing a character with a loud voice, see, it's pretty rough. Abby's pretty smart, isn't she? I think her exam scores are always way up there. Amazing, eh? Hey, did you watch our play at the Culture Festival? I want to hear your thoughts. Write a review in the school paper sometime. What I like about it? Nothing. What I disliked about it? Everything. Score 0 out of 10. Ooh, your friends are Abby, right? I always felt like, thank goodness, because I was a little worried about Abby. What do you mean? See, Abby was friendly with her homeroom teacher in second year of junior high, but she seems to be a mentally fragile person and ended up hanging herself in a classroom. The homeroom teacher. Was that the one in which no, it's not Yasuka, but another one from Iris Academy mentioned about? It was the kid we have to speak to as well in Iris Academy that allowed a red sentence to come up. I heard there was a teacher who killed herself at school, but she was friendly with Akari? Yeah, I imagine Abby was really shocked. I felt bad and worried she might be too traumatized to make friends, like she was always alone afterward. Although, was she typically alone since before befriending that teacher too? I forget. But that is important. Like, that is a weakness in itself as well. I don't know, sorry. I'm hot from moving around so much. Look, aren't I sweaty? Go get me No, I'm not getting you a towel. I is not getting you a towel. You go fetch your own towel. Abby used to have long hair, didn't she? Back in junior high. Oh, you came here in senior high, so you don't know, huh? I just took a rest, but I'm already tired. Do I not have any stamina? Maybe it's just that you didn't have enough rest. She's tall, so I think she'd be good for volleyball or basketball. Such a way she's not in a club at all. I thought the newspaper club was easy going, but it is actually really busy. You're always coming around to ask questions. Do you want to join the volleyball team? Huh? You don't? Then you should leave already. Thank you for that. Abby, she seems so cool-headed. Sort of the opposite to you, Ui. But I like you better, okay? And you're going to say that to Akari as well. It's like, oh, but I like you better. Ooey, we lost our match the other day. Console me. No, I'll give you pats. That's all I'll give you. Wasn't she a library assistant? I've seen her working in the library. We played against Buttercup Girls Academy the other day, but we lost. I'm so irritated. We're definitely going to win next time. That's the courage. I thought Abby was cold since she looks blunt. But it wasn't really like that when we actually talked. In fact, she's kind of sociable. I like girls like that. I like people like that. I jammed my finger in practice so I couldn't play, and after all the practice I put in, you can only be careful about injuries. Exactly. Different class, different club, don't know at all, try somewhere else. Hey, watch out, be sure to dodge if a ball comes flying at you, okay? Don't come calling me if you get hurt. Do you know who I am? The balls just phase through me, you know? Abby's tall, isn't she? About the same height as that model Murakami, right? Always somewhere over 5'7". Do you have any juniors in the newspaper club? Since you've always been working by yourself? Oh, but Abby's there too sometimes. The tall girl who's always with you, Ui? If you want to know something, why not ask her yourself? Because it's about something that you may not really want to know, but at the same time I try and extract information out of people about their perspective of Akari. She's just dangerous to stand around, but you'll get mad, so get out already. Fine, I'll get out of here. You're the last person I talked to anyway, so I'm going to be leaving the gym. Thank you very much. Paul. I see you in the library sometimes. Maybe the literacy club girls would know. Oh, but they have today off. They do indeed. Is it hot or what? I feel like the heat is too effective. I hear swimming is good for dieting, but is that true? I don't feel I've lost much weight. In fact, I feel like I've gained weight from muscle. Yes, it's the weight that is preferred over fat. Oh, there's something I was sort of curious about. I've seen Abby walking around town a few times, but she was with a weird old lady. Surely she isn't a relative. Ah, the cat hag. The cat hag? So they did interact numerous times. Thank you for the finality confirmation there, Uno. Not the game, Uno. Ooey, join the swim team. It's never too late. It'll be really fun once you learn to swim, you know. Yes, I swim like a brick. And I sink like a brick, I mean. Sorry, I have no idea. Try asking someone else. I feel I've got a lot of muscle since joining swimming team. Is that part of the course? Well, you do use all of your muscles in swimming. Abby's tall with a nice figure, isn't she? I'm sure I'm stocky, so I'm envious. Wonder if keeping up with swimming will help. No, the secret is putting your feet in compost for about 15 years and hope you grow taller. Maybe it's the cold, but I'm eating a lot lately, so I've gained weight. I lost a little during summer. Dang it. I wish I could lose weight. Okay, let's move on. 2A. See, don't think I know any more than you would, Uchi. Have you asked someone who's been here since junior high? I cannot ask you. Off. She's cool and calm. I said those the other way around. And she feels a bit androgynous too. Not like we're that close, but I like her. We never talked much, so I don't really know. And hey, don't you know her best, Ui? But I want to know other people's perspective. What is your experience with your eyes? Abby's tardy pretty often. I think she oversleeps a lot. I am uncertain. I do not know her schedule. Schedule. My apologies, that's very rude of me. She's a library assistant, so I guess she likes books. Checks them out from the library sometimes. Abby, I feel like I've heard the name before. Okay, Okabe. Not like really know a lot. In junior high, she struck me as always on her own. Didn't seem to have any friends, but she's always been with you starting in senior high. But why has she stuck with me? Abby's smart. I'm envious. I always give the worst test scores. Look, they're test scores, not the real thing. As I say, it's the final result that matters. I was in her class in junior high and she was always alone. I asked if she was lonely and she said not at all. In fact, she's more comfortable that way. She's right, it's pleasant being on your own. So why are you hanging out with a friend then in the cubicles? We haven't talked very much. Does she have any friends but you, Ui? If she does, could you ask them? I'm not going to ask her. I'm uncomfortable around my best friend now. Abby's pretty cool, huh? And smart too. If she were... Okay. If she were a guy, I bet she'd have lots of admirers. Are you saying that she being a girl means she doesn't have any admirers? Huh? Ui, you're always with Abby, aren't you? If you want to know something, ask her directly. I'm trying to ask around without her knowing. Abby's a newspaper club, right? Then try asking Mr. Makuda. No, she's not. She was an acquaintance, an assistant within the club, but not a formal member of the club. We never talked, so I don't know. Try asking someone else. Alrighty, one more classroom. And perhaps the nursery and the castle will know something. She's kind of a blunt girl. I'm not good with people like that. But being someone who could be considered blunt does have its benefits. You're always with her, huh, Uri? Is she in the newspaper club too? I figured she didn't have a club. It's called getting straight to the point when it comes to being blunt. So I don't know, really. Ask someone in her class. Not sugarcoating something or trying to orbit around the issue. If you want to know about an issue, you go straight into it. Not orbit around it and try to, I don't know, be comforting, because eventually it's going to be a lie. Abby's got a calm air about her. That's so cool. She's tall and got a good figure. Wish she'd let me take a photo. Look, not everybody likes to have their photo taken anyways. Not everyone likes to have their face cam on the screen. That's why I don't have that. I'm kidding. Don't know much about her. I think she's a good kid. Admire her always being sure to greet me. I didn't get that last sentence there. Infirmary. I believe she has pretty good grades. I feel like her exam scores are always in the top 3. I might have landed my hunch in the conclusion of the last episode with some solidarity there with that. Oh, isn't she your best friend, Ui? So I don't really know her. That's absolutely fine. So, we can't go there. Courtyard. Oh, we can ask the dance team. I can't get the impression she's hard to approach. I haven't seen her smile much or anything. That does seem to be the case. I asked the teacher to let us practice at the entrance because it's cold, but they said we'd get in the way. Is it that girl? She's cool and collected. Like, she doesn't talk much even when she's with you, right? Oh, or is it just because you're talking a ton? Hey, what are you trying to say? Ui, did you say the dance team? So, did you see the dance team at the culture festival? Hope you write us an article, you know, so we can get new members next year. Abby. She gives me kind of a cold impression, so I don't like her much. Maybe I'll change if I actually talk to her. I've been eating too much lately and gaining weight, and I thought I'd lose weight doing dancing. Gain it. Yes, it's about moderation. Never seen Abby being friends with anyone but you, Ui. I wonder if she doesn't have any other friends. Or does she like being alone? Wonder if we'll get new members next year. By the way, we're still accepting trial memberships, Ui. I'm not joining. Ui, you're friends with Abby, right? No need to go ask us about it. But I want to hear your opinion. It's cold, so I want to practice indoors. Think they'll let us use one of the classrooms? Don't even mind if it's cramped, just as long as we're not cold. Abby, huh? Oh, come to think of it, she seemed friendly with her homeroom teacher in second year of junior high. The teacher was a lady fresh out of college and made fruitless efforts to get along with students. It was honestly kind of annoying, but she'd always talk with Abby in the classroom after school. I wonder what happened then. Questioning once again. Newspaper club. Way to put in the effort. It's cold, so finish up quick. Hey, if you're gonna allow me to hurry, then let me hurry at my own pace. Well, I'm going to dismantle that radio of yours. I'm kidding, I would never do that. Or am I kidding? I'm kidding. Our club does runs around the campus, and running a course that goes past the entrance, I'd sometimes see Abby near the shoe cubicles. Really? Did you see what she was doing? I don't know. I figured she was doing something and not going home, because she was still there after a few laps, but it was hard to see in the middle of running. Are you sure you didn't get any kind of details of what was going on? Anything at all? I really whacked my leg on a hurdle earlier. Just look at this bruise, it hurts super bad. And it looks worse than it hurts. Abby's been here since junior high, if I remember right. Maybe you asked a girl who's been around since then. So I don't have any clue myself. I'm managing to slowly lower my time. I'm glad I'll keep up the pace. Even if it's just a millisecond, it's still an improvement. I know she's smart, but other than that, she doesn't seem to stand out that much. So, There's a national competition for newspaper clubs. I saw a special about it on TV the other day. Why don't you try entering, Uri? Because I doubt they want to take in cases about what happened live about a particular individual at a school that happened to have died by accident. She was hard to approach at first with what not smiling, but as I talked to her, she's pretty sociable. I talked to her more if we were in the same class. Are you going to write a culture festival article? I was too busy with beautification committee work to really enjoy that day myself. If you write one, I'm looking forward to it. Abby, huh? Her bluntness sort of scares me, so we've never talked. Weren't you friends, Uri? I've improved my long distance time by a lot. It was worth all the practice. Huh? That tall girl isn't here today. Yes, Akari is not with me today. I don't know. I mean, we never talked. Haven't even heard of any rumors about Abby. And I think she would prefer it that way as well. There you go, walking onto the field again. I admire the diligence, but be careful. It's almost like we've been on this field more than once. I never talked to Abby. And wait, why are you asking about her? Well, whatever. Gotta go to the bathroom. I drank too much water. Maybe you didn't run around enough to use up all of that water. That reminds me. Abby was running all over looking for you the other day, Uri. Don't worry, your friend now. Was she? I don't think so. We playing Hydrangea Girls Academy next. I hope they're not great, but, well, neither are we. Hope we win and get some confidence. I'm down because my coach scolded me earlier. It's because I suck that people keep an eye on me, man. The newspaper club does articles on things like the track meets competitions, right? Results, right? I like reading those. Good luck for your writing. Does Abby have curly hair? Or is it a perm? I feel like it's been curly since junior high. I read the school paper for the first time earlier. You wrote that all by yourself, Uri? Amazing. I wish I could write like that. Right, anybody within the club? Nope. Nobody in the club. Ah, we can conclude our questioning. Okay. Well, then let us finish up our questioning of Akari. No. This is no time to stop thinking. I have to consider this. First of all, let's calm down and organize the information so far. Both old information and new. Going in order. We have more to decipher. It all began with the incident where Shiori Natsume, the most popular girl in the school, died by falling from the roof. It was long rumored to be that word. So, I, who had no connection to Natsume, just out of curiosity, began investigating the truth of Natsume's death. I asked my best friend Akari Abby to cooperate with me. She's smart and seemed bored, so I asked her to be my assistant. By investigating with Akari's help, I was able to uncover 5 people with deep connections to Natsume. Her little sister Sakura Natsume, her fiancé Sumikazu Yasuka, Kana Murakama, who was said to view Natsume as a rival. These 3 had various histories with Natsume, but were proven to have no direct connection to her death. Mayuki Endo, senior in the orchestra club who Natsume relied on. She also had no connection to the incident of her death. And then, the one who was involved in that incident was her best friend, Maduri Hahagigi. She was present when Natsume fell from the rooftop. Hahagigi told us everything, shared the truth with the police and school. And my and Akari's investigation ended, in theory. However, I found Natsume and Hahagigi's letters in Akari's room. Something she definitely shouldn't have possessed. Prompted by this, I resumed my investigation of Natsume on my own, and was able to identify the two issues that deeply troubled her. One was about her inner feelings. It was a very sensible issue and was not for me to touch on, so I didn't intend to delve into it. But the other issue was different. The strange actions of a cat hag who was hoarding cats. She cared for cats alongside Natsume, yet abruptly started killing them en masse, and even rejected Natsume when she told her to stop. The reason for that turn was that Akari got in contact with the cat hag and fed her nonsense, damaging her trust in Natsume. Akari's actions were strange beyond just the case of the cat hag, stealing Natsume and Hahagigi's letters, unsettling Mayuki. That's why I decided to investigate Akari. Oh. And a new person of interest has come up. A teacher who killed herself in junior high, though I never knew her. That much is easy enough, but it's giving deep thought past this that's really scary. It feels like there's something I shouldn't learn about. My brain's putting a stop on me considering it any more than this. No, I can't be like that. Enough of this weak attitude. I've worked so hard investigating. Let's calm down once more and review the correlations between all the relevant parties. Who had what relationships, whether they were one way or whether they were mutual, or whether it was one of those. Well, mainly the one way or the mutual stuff. I'll look it all over from the start. This feels like it's a finality sort of thing. Like, this is it. So, we have different pieces going on here. Ah, there we go. Pieces of where things go. Oh, come on, I just can't. After coming this far, I'm trying not to look at what I don't want to see. This won't do. You have to. I can't run from the truth of what Akari did to who. I have to confront it. Ooh. Akari was stealing the precious letters that connected Natsume with Hahagigi. I have evidence and a witness, so this should be undeniably true. Is the witness itself Hahagigi? Because she even said that Akari did not interact with her after the incident on the rooftop. Hahagigi was wounded by not getting replies from Natsume. Judging from what Natsume said, it was likely the same for her. In other words, Akari's interference put cracks in those two's relationship. Natsume and Mayuki had a trusting relationship where they supported each other as junior and senior. Saved from probable isolation, Mayuki was grateful to Natsume. Also, she was happy to be depended on by her. But Akari dismissed those feelings as reliance on Natsume. She threatened that Mayuki's individuality would vanish, damaging her performances. Feeling crisis looming, Mayuki stepped down as concert mistress and distanced herself from Natsume, resulting in a gulf between them. So the impetus for the destruction of Natsume and Mayuki's trusting relationship was also Akari. And finally, the cat hag. Natsume worried for the irresponsible animal hoarding she was doing and helped care for the cats. Judging from the cat hag's remarks, the two seemed rather close. They both liked cats after all. But Natsume wasn't the only one in contact with the cat hag. Akari was too. But my only question is, how did Akari know that Natsume was in contact with the 6 individuals being Mayuki, Hahagigi, the cat hag, Kana, obviously Sakura is obvious, but who's the other one again? There's another character. I don't know how Akari got close to the cat hag, but it seems she listens to... Oh, and Yasuka as well. But how did she know that? I don't know how Akari got close to the cat hag, but it seems she listened to her rather kindly. The lonely cat hag must have been very glad for that, and that's why she trusted in the nonsense story Akari fed her. Also, Akari would have to have known that the cat hag's son and husband passed away. Not questioning what Akari said, the cat hag began killing cats and viewed Natsume with hostility. She rejected her as a bad girl. Natsume was shocked by this. Mr. Fujimura witnessed her feeding a stray cat while crying. Natsume and the cat hag, the one who severed their relation, founded in caring for cats, was also Akari. In short, Akari is the mastermind. However, in all of this, Akari was not directly involved with the demise of Shiori Natsume, but she was the main catalyst towards the events that inevitably transpired to that, but it wasn't a direct connection to it. Yep. Akari ends up destroying Natsume's relationships with these 3 people. What's important here is what objective Akari had in doing such a thing, but looking at these results, I can only think of one thing her goal could have been. To cut Natsume off from those close to her and drive her to loneliness. Until starting the investigation, I had hardly any knowledge of Natsume, her family life, her relationships. But that wasn't true for Akari. Before I even began, Akari had several pieces of information on Natsume. I wonder if something happened between the 2 of those in the past. At the very least, Akari must have known about her relationships with Hahagigi, Mayuki, and the cat hag, and she used that information to carry out her objective, that is, to sever the trust between Natsume and those 3. But surely the primary, goal is to somehow sever Shiori Natsume herself in some ways, because the connection between these 3 characters is that they all have one thing in common, but without actually knowing each other really as a group of 3, and that is the fact that they have somehow had a connection with Natsume at some point in the past. But again, how did Akari know that? I feel like I can gather why she didn't take any action against her sister Sakura or fiancé Yasuka. Sakura was trying not to get involved with Natsume at school, and even declared she hated her sister. But then again, did Sakura always hate her sister? That is a thing. So Akari must have viewed Sakura as just Natsume's little sister, and didn't count her as close. And Yasuka, many knew that Natsume had a fiancé, but he had little recognition himself. I was only able to learn as much as I did about Yasuka because we went over to Iris Academy. If I hadn't done that, I wouldn't know. Akari probably had no prior knowledge of Yasuka, so she did nothing to him, or rather, she couldn't do anything. And Kana? Akari's goal was to break the trusting relationships between Natsume and those close to her, leaving her lonely. If we suppose that, then what's the real goal behind it? What did Akari do that for? Why did she do that? There's a worrying theory brewing within me. And if I hadn't investigated Akari, it would have never come to mind. What is that conclusion? I wonder if this has something to do with it. The teacher that, unfortunately, hung herself. I wonder if she has some kind of catalyst in all this. Did Shiori Natsume do something to this teacher? Get my wire out of the way. Did Shiori Natsume do something to this teacher? Or did Shiori's family do something to the teacher? The teacher Kari was close with during junior high. Seemingly mentally fragile, she hung herself in a classroom. I don't know what kind of association Akari and that teacher had. Did they feel at ease with each other, like me and Akari now? Or was it strictly a student-teacher, slightly friendly relationship? Something doesn't feel right about Akari and that teacher being friendly. According to Mitumi and Yumihara, she was a kind of annoying teacher who couldn't get close to students. Well, that's a new teacher for you. Would a person who says she's more comfortable by herself purposely get along affectionately with that type of person? Especially Akari. She has her supportive side, but she's pretty blunt and hates tedious things. Akari and that teacher definitely wouldn't match, I think. Granted, I can only imagine since I didn't know the teacher, but there has to be some reason Akari and that teacher got along. I can't think otherwise. It could also be the fact that that teacher was trying to purposely get Akari's grades, like, heightened artificially, so that she's the #1 student in the school. In any event, that teacher killed herself, hanging herself in a classroom even. This is all just an idea. I know that full well, but... Oh, what's that? What if Akari was doing to her the same thing she did to Natsume? What do you mean by that? While getting along as someone friendly, acting like nothing was going on, what if she was quietly setting her up for isolation? That's another thing as well. And the result of driving the teacher to isolation would be her that. What if that was Akari's objective? Natsume's death was an accident. There was a witness, and I'm not going to doubt the truth of that now. But even if there hadn't been an accident, there was a significant possibility that Natsume would have died. Her close relationships destroyed, perhaps she might have come to not care about anything anymore and end her life herself. After all, Natsume. It's fine if I fall. If it all goes away and I'm at peace, I might prefer that. Just before she fell to her death, she was in such a mental state that she'd said it'd be fine if she died. Akari. She was guiding Natsume in a way that no one knew about. Akari's objective was to drive Natsume to that. I'm going nuts from overthinking this. It's absurd, I have to admit. There's no way Akari was plotting something as horrifying as making someone die. I mean, when Hagigi tried to jump to her death, Akari frantically tried to save her, right? Someone like that wouldn't... Was she only trying to save me? I recall she did tell Hagigi, if you want to die, do it alone. That was actually very bold, yeah. Like, why did Akari say that? And also, she did also mention about the fact that she was going to try and pull Natsume downwards even further than what's already been transpired by. Anyway, Akari isn't someone who'd plot a person's death. I can't imagine something that awful. I should know her well, right? I know what kind of person Akari is because I'm with her all the time. You're not with her all the time. Everyone has a past in which you do not know about. Though heck, it's Akari's fault too, taking all these inexplicable actions, not to mention not telling me anything. I wonder if Akari's cold has gotten better. Will she come to school tomorrow? I don't feel like I should face Akari. I feel sorry for having such awful ideas, though it's true I feel uncertain about her. And if I ask Akari, she'll clear everything up. After all, I did decide I'd talk to her once I investigated to my satisfaction. But I'm kind of scared of knowing the truth. And that's painful. Of course I have a desire to know the truth, but if you learn the truth, you'll have to carefully consider if you want to speak it or not. Once you say it, everything changes. You can't be the same as you have been. You should at least recognize that. Depending on the circumstances, I think it's totally valid to keep the truth to yourself and maintain the status quo. That's it. What I'm afraid of is destroying the status quo. Destroying my relationship with Akari. Even if my theory is wrong, it's true that I've casted doubt on Akari. If I tell her I can't act like it didn't happen, and then we might not be able to be the way we have been. We might not be friends anymore. I don't want that. And even supposing my theory is right, in that case I surely wouldn't know what to do. If it's true Akari was driving Natsume to that, I might have to. Sure enough, maybe I shouldn't say anything to Akari, if I'm worrying this much about it. But as long as I'm in this hazy state, I can't hang out with Akari either way. My emotions show too easily. Oh jeez, what should I do? If I told her my theory, I wonder how Akari would react. Would she laugh? Be stunned? Get mad? I don't know. I don't know a single thing about Akari anymore. We've always been together. I thought I knew Akari so well. Was it not really remotely the case? Well, you were amusing to be around. Why did we become friends anyway? Was there something that set it off? Us being together is so obvious now, I forget. It's no good. I'm completely stuck in a rut. Let's not think about it for a bit. My room's messy. I've been busy lately, so I've put off cleaning. Maybe I'll clean to get my mind off things. But what will you find when you're cleaning? I wonder if there's something in here that Akari wrote. Let's see. Is that also in there? Nope, that's that there. I think that's it. Nope. Anything else? Put these books in here. Ooh. Till the Dawn. Since when did I have this book? Did Akari place this book? Wait, this is a book I borrowed from Akari forever ago. I took too long reading it and missed my chance to return it. I think I still haven't finished it. Well, I completely forgot. Actually, wasn't this book what led to me becoming friends with Akari? Then should you read the book to try and find something else that you have not found out already? Perhaps there's a meaning behind the book itself. Hey, Ui, you're new here too, right? Yeah, Sakaki and Yoshikawa, right? That's right, we transferred from another school too. Buddies! There's fewer of us than I expected. Feels kind of uncomfortable, because girls who are here since junior high have already formed friend groups. So let's get along as fellow transfers. Oh, your first name is Aoi, right? Okay, if I call you Uchi? I wonder why one of those girls actually called her Uchi. Sure, that's fine. Nice to know you two, Takaki and Yoshikawa. There was also the question of Akari. And I was able to nab tickets, so I'm going to a concert later. Uchi, Sakakan, you're coming with? Yeah, well, I can't wait. Uchi, you're going too, right? I wonder, I'm kind of not good with these glittery idol guys. What? But that group's such a lineup for hardies. Then what do you like, Ui-chan? What are your favorite idols? Let's see, if you'll take actors, Yoshiro Kumini? Who's that? Never heard of him. What about you, Takakin? Isn't that a super old dude? As though it's too sophisticated. Don't you not like any idols or anything? No, not really interested. Well, really, you're missing out big time. You gotta check out the stars of Joni and Associates. Sure, if I feel like it. On a different topic, OG, you've always got that ponytail. Could you try letting your hair down? Like this? Oh, looks good. I always thought it'd suit you to let your hair down, Uchi. I like this better too. Enough for a ponytail. Go with that. It might be a little annoying. It's easy to tie it up. Well, it's cute though. I'm telling you, it's totally better. Yeah, well, I'll do that if you say so. You. Ooey, there's an erase on the floor. This yours? Huh? Ah, yeah, it is. Thanks. That wasn't your eraser, was it? Abby's always by herself, huh? Does she have any friends in class? Who knows? I've never seen her with anybody. She's always reading some book or another. Also, she was in uniform as well. And has long hair. What happened? Maybe she doesn't get lonely? Could it be me? I'd get uncomfortable and people would think I was gloomy. What if Abby doesn't mind that? She probably doesn't, huh? She feels kind of like a lone wolf, but it's not like she's gloomy necessarily. I know. I kind of love her cool attitude. Maybe it's not that she doesn't have friends. She doesn't make them. Maybe she likes being alone. Yeah, she's totally normal if you talk to her. In fact, she's sort of really easy to talk to. Abby's smart, so I guess that's why she's a good talker too. Library? No. Yeah, having my hair down is pretty annoying. I want to tie it all together. The Sakagi and Yoshikawa told me they like this better, so maybe I should roll with it? No, be yourself. I've been with those two since I started attending here, but our tastes don't align at all, so it's hard to talk with them. I don't think anything they recommend me is any good. Meanwhile, they don't seem interested in things I think are good. Our tastes not aligning is one thing, but it's kind of awkward having them putting their suggestions on me. Like this hairstyle, in fact. I'm grateful they hang out with me, but it's gotten kind of hard to go along with them. But they're good people, really. They just don't mesh with my personality. It'd probably be fine if I was okay with being alone like Abby, but I'm not, so... Well, what can you do? Get along with people even if your personalities don't match. That's an important life skill. It's definitely rare to be able to do whatever you want as you want. I've got to learn that. Feels like it'll be an uncomfortable high school life. But I guess I just have to get used to it. So what got you into the newspaper association? What? Ah, sorry, I was staring, wasn't I? I was curious what you were reading. A romance novel, huh? I'm a little surprised. Romance novel? No. Huh? But isn't the author of that book famous for romance novels? What's her name? Takamura. Yeah, but this is different. Her romance novels are a bore, but the others are interesting. Is that right? Want to read it if you're curious? I'll lend it to you. What? That's fine. I mean, aren't you in the middle of reading it, Abby? Nah, I finished it earlier. I got reminded of it lately, so I've just been rereading it. But I'm a slow reader. I'll be really late to give it back. Fine by me. It's one I already finished, so take your time reading it. Ah, sorry, not like I want to put you on the spot. If you're not interested, that's fine. That's okay. I'll take you up on your offer. Thank you, Abby. Here you go. By the way, Uri, I've seen you've got your hair down lately. Yeah, Sakiki and Yoshikawa told me I'd look better with it down. Huh? What do you think, Abby? Is my hair down better? I think it's fine either way. It's your hair. Do what you like with it. You're not gonna die because of your hairstyle or anything, right? So won't it feel better doing what makes you feel good? Yeah, you're right. I think so too. Okay, back to my ponytail it is. And just like that. Abby, good morning. Thanks for lending me that book yesterday. Don't mention it. Did you read any? Yeah, but it's more dense than I expected. Sure enough, I think it's going to take a while for me to finish. Don't worry about it. People tend to read at different speeds. You can give it back at any time. Thanks. Well, then apologies, but I'll borrow it for a little longer. And when I say a little longer, I mean a long time. By the way, could we eat lunch together today? Only if it's okay with you. Sure. Huh? Really? Why? You're always by yourself, Abby, so I wonder if you'd like being alone. In which case, I'll be getting your way. Won't deny that, but it's not like I hate not being alone. I was thinking I'd like to have a proper talk with you, Uri, so I'm glad for the invitation. So, is the cafeteria fine for lunch? Yeah, alright, thanks. A proper conversation, huh? That came out of left field. Come to think of it, are you in a club, Abby? Only the Go Home Club. I hate pointless junk, but I like books, so I'm a library assistant. I see, I'd like to try a club myself. Any you're interested? Not a club, but an association. The Newspaper Association. What's that? Everyone gets together and read newspapers? No, they make a school paper and report on events and competitions. Apparently there's only 2 third years in it right now, so if it doesn't get new members, it'll go away next year. Why did that just suddenly do that? I don't know. There we go. I like reading the school paper and I'm interested in reporting. I think I'd like to try joining, but you aren't gonna. Yeah, Saki and Yoshikawa were like, if you join a club, Uchi, we won't be able to hang out. I get it, so it's one or the other, huh? What do you want to do? All your friends. But ain't that a waste? I mean, something you want to do? Being able to start it anytime and yet not doing anything? I get your friends are important, but it's probably fine to at least give it a shot. You'll figure out soon enough which you should prioritize. You could just make a proper decision then, can't you? You know, maybe you're right. You never know until you try. Okay, strike while the iron's hot. I'll go talk to the advisor, Mr. Makuda, after school. Hey, Abby, you say you want to talk to me. Why is that? No deep reason. I just kind of thought you might be amusing. Okay, so that's where that started. Amusing? What about me? The way your expressions are always changing, your clumsy movements. I don't get tired of watching it. You're like a little animal. That's detailed. Don't tell me you've been observing me that so thoroughly. But I'm glad you care about me. I want to talk to you too, Abby. To me? Why? Though you're by yourself, you're always owning it. I thought you looked cool. Maybe it's because I'm a coward who gets nervous by herself. I feel kind of envious. So I want to have a good talk with you. I'm glad I spoke up. It's always worth trying. You're overestimating me. I just don't like hassle. I'm more comfortable alone because I don't have to worry about others and I can do what I like. Though that means less enjoyment. Get along with friends at school results in stuff like obligations. That's a pain in the butt. Incidentally, I hate being bored. Similar people getting together feels boring, so I don't like it. Someone amusing though, sure. I want to do what I want to do. I don't want to be restrained, and of course I don't want to limit someone else's actions. Thinking like that, I naturally end up alone. There's nothing cool about it. It's effectively just selfishness. True, there are lots of girls who maintain togetherness superficially, like by doing the same things together. I've got my hand stuck on my drawer. But I thought that was just the fate of school life, especially at a girls' school. Just figured it was like that. If I had to say, though, I like to do what I like, and I'd want my friends to do the same. Same as me, huh? You seem kind of uncomfortable as you are, Uri, but since you've got friends, I doubt you're lonely. Yeah, that's true. Friends who recognize and respect what the other wants to do, who enjoy just being together. I think that might be my ideal, but it's not so easy to find someone that convenient. Yeah, well, what happens happens. 3 years of senior highs a blink, so no need to get worked up. Was that before or after the teacher incident? Thanks for today. It was a lot of fun. It was actually my first time eating lunch in the cafeteria too. No, it would have to be after because the incident happened before Aoi started, if I remember correctly. Thanks today. It was a lot of fun. It was actually my first time eating lunch in cafeteria too. So how about we eat together tomorrow too, if that's okay with you, Abby? Sure. Tell me how the newspaper association thing went. I'm curious. Yeah. That's right. This book kicked it off. From the day we ate lunch together, I started to talk more with Akari. During our break time and after school, we somehow ended up together. We never made a verbal promise to become friends. We didn't come to a decision to go to a first-name basis. We naturally ended up that way. That made me very happy. Akari never limits me. She watches me do as I please, always supporting. Maybe that's why I feel as if Akari wants me to act like myself. And I thought the same as Akari, because I liked Akari's dedication to being herself. We always let each other do whatever we please. Being together in that way is so much fun. Akari really is my ideal friend. That's exactly why I'm so scared I might lose my relationship with Akari. Book. I can't run anymore. I need to make up my mind already. Do I be frank with Akari about the theory I arrived at, clear everything up, and leave the rest to destiny? Or else, do I forget it all, act like none of it happened, and get along with Akari as friends like before? The important thing here is, which do I absolutely refuse to give up? Staying true to myself, or my relationship with Akari? That is a very difficult question. It's like what Akari said in that room. Do you remain the status quo, or would you rather things turn to chaos? That's just the thing. This novel, I've been borrowing it for a long time, but I still haven't finished it. Since I borrowed it, I'd like to read it to the end, but I suppose I should return it soon enough, huh? It's not just this book, is it? There's a lot more I owe to Akari. She's always given me advice, saved me in dangerous situations. Akari's always supported me. Even my continuing the investigation until the very end is thanks to Akari being my emotional support. You could honestly say that the answer I arrived at is one Akari searched for with me. Because of that, I feel like acting like none of it happened would be rude to Akari, who supported me all this time. Maybe, along with this book, I should pay back all the other things I've gotten from Akari. Speaking truthfully about all the things I've gleaned might be the best show of sincerity for myself and to Akari. Even if the answer I've reached makes Akari out as a villain. But I still don't know how this book ends. If I give it back to Akari, I won't be able to read the rest. I could read it if I wanted, but I might lose all desire to read the rest after this. Because if my relationship with Akari changes, I probably won't even want to consider reading the rest anymore. What do I do? Should I return this book? Or should I keep loaning it out? Hold on to it still or give it back to Akari? Do we hold on to it still? Does that mean remaining the status quo? Or give it back to Akari, which is the status quo? Or is it the other way around, which is ensue chaos? Hold on to it still. How are you feeling? Coming to school tomorrow? I'm better, so yeah. Got it. So he held on to the book then. Ah, Akari. Aoi? Morning, Akari. Are you feeling better now? I'm fine. Just seemed to be a cold. Not like I had a fever or anything. So what were you doing over there? Were you waiting for me? No, nothing like that. Oh yeah, I was waiting. I want to see your face right away. The heck? Well, that's creepy. Not like we're lovers or something. Don't be like that. I was just worried for you. Akari, can I say something? Do you remember how a long time ago you let me borrow a book? That novel Till the Dawn? Oh yeah, I did lend that to you, huh? Totally forgot about it. Well, so did I actually. But I remembered yesterday about how that book was what led us to becoming friends. I still haven't finished that book. I feel terrible about it, since I borrowed it so long ago. So if it's okay if I keep it a while longer since I borrowed it, I'd like to read it through to the end. Fine by me. Basically forgot to even exist in myself. I'm fine with just giving it to you, rather than lending it out. That's good. After all, I won't be able to give it back. The heck does that mean? Well, whatever. You can give it back whenever. Do what you want. Thanks, I'll take you up on that and take my time reading it. Nothing else you want to say to me? Huh? Nah, that's all. I see. What is it, Akari? What's going through that head of yours? Wanted to say, good work. Seems you've been real busy lately, Aoi. You want to go get a tea somewhere after school today? Been a while, so let's relax. Yeah, let's. It's my treat. Might be a little late, but we gotta celebrate the Newspaper Association's great achievement. What? That's fine, really. I mean, you helped lots yourself, Akari. To tell the truth, there's something I want to talk to you about. So just accept the generosity is my thanks for associating with me. What do you want to talk about? That can wait till after school. If you heard it now, you'd be so shocked you couldn't even handle your classes. Okay, that's kind of scary. A good kind of shock or a bad kind? That depends. Who can say? Well, let's go. I don't want to be late today. Hey, Akari. She left you hanging. It's for the best, huh? I'm sure I'll forget about these uneasy feelings soon. This haziness is only temporary. Being with Akari is so much fun, I'll forget about any bad things before I know it. Even if I stay true to myself, I don't see a point in doing that if Akari isn't at the end of it. Because Akari is my best friend. And I want Akari and I to always be friends. Ending 2. Leave my idol be. Ah, so that is remaining the status quo. After all. Give it back to Akari. How are you feeling? Coming to school tomorrow? I'm better, so yeah. Can you stay after school? I want to talk. Fine by me. Morning, Akari. Are you feeling better now? I'm fine. Just seemed to be a cold. Not like I had a fever or anything. So, what do you want to talk about? Something you just have to wait till after school to say? Yeah, I want to talk calmly. Just between the two of us. Thus after school in the social studies room. But Bottles is there. That okay? Bottles is off today. He left me the key to the social studies room so we can go in. By the way, want to copy my notes from yesterday? We learned about what be on the economics exam. Ah, term exams. Ah, that's right. There was that. No, I'm good on notes. You sure? You won't be able to study for the exam? I'm fine. Anyway, I'm super tired. Fine if I sleep till class starts? Sure. Have a nice nap. Weird. Well, Akari's smart, so I guess she's okay without having to study too hard. Am I stupid or what? This isn't the time to be worrying about Akari. Is this the finale that we've all been waiting for? The confrontation with the true villain who's been pulling the strings all this time. Here we are, in this room. You're late, huh? What were you up to? Just had to use the bathroom. Sorry for making you wait. Wasn't waiting that long. It's fine. So what's this about? So I have something to return to you, Akari. Do you remember this book? Ah, I thought I lost that, but I did lend it to you, huh? That brings me back. Sorry for borrowing it for so long, but I'm giving it back here and now. I'm fine just letting you keep it, really. But hey, if you say so, I'll accept it. And there's something else I want to return to you. What? All the doubts I owe you. I want to return the favor for helping me with the Natsume investigation. By telling you all about what I investigated and the conclusion I arrived at. Akari, you tried to ensnare Natsume without getting your own hands dirty. You tried to isolate Natsume by severing her relationships with the people close to her. Isn't that right? Her best friend Hagigi, her dependable senior Mayuki, the cat hag who she cared for cats with. 3 people who Natsume strongly depended on emotionally. You engineered the collapse of their relationships with Natsume, fostering distrust of Natsume, instilling the idea that associating with Natsume was a bad thing, but all done indirectly. Your objective was to isolate Natsume and drive her to that, wasn't it? Like you did to the teacher you befriended in junior high. Natsume falling to her death may have been an accident, but there was plenty of possibility for her to purposely do that. That possibly was something you intentionally manufactured, Akari. That was your aim. This is the answer I've arrived at from investigating this myself. I always intend to tell you the process by which I got to this conclusion, but honestly I have no confidence that it's correct. There's so much I want to ask you, so much I want to say to you, but before that I want an answer. I want you to tell me clearly whether my theory is right or wrong. If I'm wrong, you can get mad at me. You can laugh me off. You can punch me right in the face. So, I want to hear the truth. Right from your mouth, Akari. I'll let you talk without interruption since you're being so serious, but do you know what you're saying? Maybe I can understand a tiny bit more if you told me your process, but that's not the issue now, is it? And heck, I'm shocked. Like, seriously so. So you saw me as someone who ensnared another person, who'd play with a person's life. What was our friendship up to now? What did you see in me? Hearing something like that from you, more than anyone else, honestly, it's rough. Aoi, there's your insensitive nature again. It's not like I was actually looking at you that way. This is just a conclusion that came from my investigation. Look, if you were being 100% about this, Aoi, you wouldn't be sorry. Yeah, right. I'm kidding. Huh? That's amazing, Aoi. Find out that much yourself? Oh, I'm impressed. That's the hard work of the Newspaper Association for you. I bet Bot will be happy too, seeing how much you've grown. Hang on, you mean my theory was accurate? Yep, that's right. More or less, more so when it comes to Natsume. Why? Getting her to do that? Why did you do something like that? What do you have against Natsume? And not just Natsume, your junior high teacher too. Was there something going on there that you wanted her to do that for? That is the most stupidest conclusion ever. Because I was bored, so I fancied I'd cast someone's life away. If I'd have named something, I guess it's because I was bored. Bored? Surely you didn't really push people toward death for a reason like that. Well, look, haven't I told you before? I hate things that are a hassle, but I also hate to be bored. Cornering Natsume was just to stave off the boredom, though she died before that could bear fruit. Please tell me the truth, all of it, so that I can understand. Sure thing, but I don't know if telling you everything will let you understand, you know. First of all, guess we'll start with a junior high teacher. From the get-go, I had to point out where you got it wrong, Aoi. I didn't drive her to isolation. She was just alone from the start. As a brand new teacher freshly graduated from college, on top of being nervous and fragile, she was super depressed. Maybe the stress of dealing with cheeky junior high girls day in, day out really got her. Not like it's any of my business. Then for some reason, she got her eye on me and started hanging around me a bunch, like after school. Just being followed around like that would be one thing, but she used me as an outlet for non-stop complaining. I hate the students, I hate the teachers, I can't get friends with a boyfriend, I can't rely on my family. I should have never become a teacher, I want to quit this job, I just hate everything, blah, 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 everything. She complained at me like that every day. It was super annoying. Let me tell you, when I'm just an ordinary student. Akari, what did you do to her? Nothing. I just affirmed her. If you say you want to die, then sure. Okay. No, I wouldn't. No. She kept saying it. I kept affirming it. It just went on repeating like that. That's it? She really died just from doing that? Yep, she did. And in a classroom too. Just how much did she hate school? Or else maybe it was an insinuation against me. I listened to her complaints, but I didn't offer any consolation. Well, so basically I didn't aim to make that teacher die, she just died on her own. How were that teacher and Natsume connected? No connection whatsoever. Interacting with that teacher was less out of boredom, more because I couldn't get out of it. That teacher's death only stuck with me as an experience, but it came in handy for later. an experience came in handy? Well, next is Natsume. Incidentally, I wasn't specifically aiming to make Natsume do that. I just want to see the idol fall from a pedestal and crumble. Didn't particularly care what form that collapse took. That, whatever, just as long as I could cause something big, that was enough. Something big? You know that block stacking game? Yeah, Jenga, the one where you pull out pieces from the stack one at a time, and whoever makes it collapse loses? Sure, if you're the one who causes it, you lose, but it's predicted on the fact it'll ultimately collapse, see? If I didn't, it'd never end, right? It's a game where the fun is having it all collapse and make a mess, and laughing like, there it goes. It's the same as that. Taking out a piece that made up Shiori, Natsume one by one until she collapsed, and watching the result clamor. That's the sort of fun diversion it was. So, one of the forms of collapse I imagined was what the teacher did. That is, that. I'd seen for myself what sort of situation a person has to be in to do such a thing. I thought I put it into practice. That teacher went and cornered herself, but Natsume always had people around. Didn't seem like she'd end up alone. But if you took a peek inside, Natsume was real close to loneliness. Though many people accompanied her, she opened her heart to very few. So first I decided to cut Natsume off from those few people, thinking if I did that, would she make the same choice as that teacher? But it's not like Natsume doing that was a clear goal or anything. The two had different personalities, wouldn't necessarily respond the same. I would have been fine with anything just as long as Natsume caused some big stir, like I said before. You targeted Natsume because she was everyone's idol? Is that really all? Or did you have some grudge? None at all. And that's exactly why I picked her. Another place where my experience with that teacher proved useful. What do you mean? When that teacher died, the police questioned the heck out of me, since I was the only person she was close with. That was a massive pain. I got fed up with it. I deeply regretted ever getting involved with someone like her. So when I considered who to play with, I decided I definitely wouldn't pick someone I was close with. It caused damage to me too. If we had absolutely no connection, the shards from the collapse wouldn't reach to me no matter what happened. Let me be a safe third party. Furthermore, I wanted them to have the attention of lots of people so that the collapse caused a big clamor, which I could then enjoy. You are heinous. Natsume was a perfect fit for those requirements. That's my only reason for picking her. Out of boredom. Then, when did you decide to ensnare Natsume? About half a year ago. Used about a month to gather intel, since I had absolutely no knowledge of Natsume. So before I began investigating Natsume, you were investigating her alone? Less investigating, more observing. I don't do tedious stuff like going around questioning everybody. It draws attention too. Observing? That's all? Sorry to say this to you, but after your steady investigation, Aoi, but there's a lot that you can know about someone like Natsume just by watching. Though she had lots of people around, she didn't let her guard down one bit. It was blatantly obvious she had a barrier up as she smiled politely. In my observation, the only ones I felt Natsume let her guard down around were Hakagigi and Mayuki. Natsume purposely didn't talk to Hakagigi around other people. I bet she was trying to show something, like, we're friends that understand each other even without words. Though Natsume's doing that seemed to make Hakagigi uneasy. Well, whatever. Because of that, I knew right away that Hakagigi was important to Natsume. And also Mayuki. Natsume and her often came to the library together. I used the library a lot, so I saw them plenty of times. Natsume depended on Mayuki a lot. Didn't even care about people seeing it. Must have adored her quite a bit. Incidentally, I learned about Natsume and the Cat Hag's relationship by happening to see them around town. Honestly, I was shocked. I didn't know the Cat Hag at all, so I tried approaching her myself. Didn't want her being an oddball, but... And well, she was easy to deal with. If you just say something nutty to someone who's already nutty, you can get on their wavelength. So yeah, going basically like that, I figured I'd do something about those three who Natsume especially valued. But your investigation let you learn about Sakura and Yasuko in depth, yeah? Honestly, felt like I'd miss out. If I'd been aware of those two sooner, there could have been much more efficient ways to go about it. Akari, did you know that Natsume, if it meant Natsume's secret that Yasuko was hiding, I actually don't know. Because I had a guess, I just didn't have full confidence in it. And I didn't tell you because I felt like it'd shock you. That's the reason I dared to do a thing like that, despite not wanting to draw attention at school. Judging from reaction, Aoi, seems maybe my theory wasn't necessarily wrong. This isn't right. I can't comprehend it at all. How can you be so calm? What you did deeply hurt Natsume. Natsume died, you know. Don't you feel any guilt? I wasn't close to Natsume at all. It's you being so attached to her that I can't understand, Aoi. And you can talk about guilt, but Natsume died from accident, so who even knows if my provoking was effective or not? I had no contact with Natsume, and no interest in her to start with. Don't really think anything of it, whether she's alive or not. No interest? But you said you observed her and gathered information. No, I really had no interest. Even my information gathering was only the bare minimum. You don't research every little detail when you kick a pebble on the road, right? It's the same thing. Had no attachment to her. I just wanted to enjoy the chaos that ensued from the idol falling. I had no feelings for the idol herself. When I said I would investigate Natsume, did you think anything of it? And you didn't tell me anything, even though you knew all sorts of things about Natsume from your own observing. I like you, Aoi, and I like watching you do as you please. That's why I didn't want to stop you from investigating the Natsume incident, and I had no right to. And investigating it on your own power felt meaningful, right? Even supposing I did help, I didn't want to interfere too much. And yeah, I did lightly tell you about Hagigi, Mayuki and the cat hag, didn't I? Figured that much would be fine. And also, I myself had no clue why Natsume died. That? An accident? Murder? As unstable as Natsume was, I couldn't imagine her doing that, just from the level of meddling I did. Felt strange to me. I figured if your investigation could explain the truth of her death, that could be amusing too, so I decided to help out. But see, what you wanted to do and what I wanted to do were different beasts. Not just different, exact opposites. I wanted to make that idol fall. You wanted to gather its shattered piece and try to restore it. You couldn't do that. It's impossible to restore an idol that has fallen and has died. I would have been fine telling you about what I did, but our goals were too incompatible. Would have inevitably gone sour. As we can see right now, I didn't say anything because I knew for sure it would be a pain. But that was for the best, right? We each do what we like. We respect each other's freedom. That's always been our stance. There's no need for us to say every little detail about what we want to do. Saying it doesn't mean you can understand people's true intentions. Or else, should I have discussed every little thing I wanted to do with you and gotten your opinion? No keeping secrets, open up about everything, having a deep understanding, needing to be united. Is that the sort of confining relationship you wanted, Aoi? All I wanted to do was shake the pedestal that idol was on. What's more, that alone didn't make the idol fall. While I was going and looking into how I might get her to fall, whoops, off she went. Honestly, it was anticlimactic. She sat on the fence on the rooftop, stumbled when getting up, and fell. In short, truly just an accident. No connection to me. I didn't have any guilt. And I finally don't care now that Natsume's passed. Those are my honest feelings. So, what do you think, Aoi, hearing all this? If you want to say something, I'm all ears. As many excuses as you make, Akari, I just can't understand. I don't think I can justify hurting people for your own enjoyment, and I don't think anyone ever should. Even if my best friend who did it. It's true, I wasn't close with Natsume. She might not have been aware, she might not have even been aware I existed. But I just sort of looked up to Natsume. I just sort of liked Natsume. It was a bandwagon-like feeling. What is that thing? What's it called when you have an interest in someone, but they have no idea that you exist, or the fact that you have a fascination into that person? I'm not sure if it's called like a neo relationship or a neo kindership or something along that lines. It's like a one-way street. It was a bandwagon-like feeling, like people looking up to a pop idol. Even me starting my investigation into her death was just curiosity. Back then, when I recognized Natsume as just an idol, maybe I would have forgiven you, Akari. But since then, I've learned about Natsume the human being, not Natsume the idol. Suffering from the gaps between herself and others, worrying over little things, becoming fond of people, wanting to cling to people. I learned about the life-sized Natsume. He was just a regular high schooler like myself. Natsume isn't just an idol to me anymore. She's Shiori Natsume. What do you mean by anymore? She's Shiori, a human. And that's exactly why I can't forgive you trying to ensnare Natsume, Akari. I think of you as a friend, and I want to continue being friends, so I'll say it loud and clear. What you did was horrible. You can't hurt and play with people. Call me a hypocrite if you want. I just can't accept that. I wanted to let you do what you want. I didn't want to tie you down. I still feel that way now. But there are limits to what you want in a humane sense. There are things you shouldn't do. Natsume was crying, feeding a stray cat, quietly, so that no one would see her. That's a result of what you did, Akari. You hurt a person and made her weep. Do you really not feel the slightest bit sorry towards Natsume? I want to believe that's a lie. I think Akari's already said it. I'm criticizing you as a friend, Akari. I want you to reflect. If you don't, I can't be friends with you anymore. Sorry, Aoi. I knew as much, but I upset you. With the way you are, no chance you'll forgive me. But you know, I'm not expecting forgiveness. Whether you forgive me or not is up to you, Aoi. Besides, I don't want to give a completely superficial apology. I can't say something I'm not thinking, especially not to you. That's why our relationship ends here. Relax though, things won't get awkward, because I won't be showing myself around you again. Huh? I'm quitting school. Today's my last day of attendance. Too bad Bottles isn't here. I do owe him, so I want to at least give him a goodbye. Why? Why are you quitting school? Are you going to another one? Do you need to know? We're not going to meet again. Well, fine. Truth is, my parents are moving overseas. I decided to come with. Going to a Japanese college seemed boring anyhow. If I go to a school over there, maybe go on to get a job. Man, have I been busy with cleaning and preparations these past few days. So with her, with the whole sales thing and stuff like that and putting things away, I think it was both the theme that she gave to us, which was the reason why she didn't come to school today, which was selling things, but also as well, she was removing evidence, like probably paper shredding up the letters that she gathered from Hahagigi and Shiori. Like, she was getting rid of that evidence. And I'm sure at some point Akari must have come to the conclusion that Aoi saw that. But Akari only wanted to have her feelings confirmed if Aoi confronted her. Appreciate you leaving me be, Aoi. Oh yeah, I had Kageyama keep quiet about it. Looks like he actually kept his word. Was like, I don't like mushy farewells, so please don't tell anyone. Told him I'd tell my friends myself. Since when? When did you decide you were quitting school? Half a year ago. Around the same time I resolved to kill some time with Natsume. Why'd you have to put the word kill within that sentence? In other words, Natsume was my last bit of fun before leaving Japan behind. Sort of like a fireworks last hurrah. What I did ended up being futile, but I'm glad I got to learn a bunch of stuff thanks to you, Aoi. I had a pretty enjoyable time. So then, I won't be in contact with you ever again, Aoi. I'm cancelling my phone plan and deleting my social media. That way's best, right? Rather than having an iffy connection to someone who did something you can't forgive, it's probably the best that you return this book too. Would be terrible if it reminded you of me. Okay. Oh right, I've got some stuff in those shelves, so I'll be picking it all up. Excuse me. Gotta say, I'm glad you made it in time, Aoi. Wouldn't hurt to go without telling you the truth. Since it's the last time, could I ask you while I'm here? Did Maiki tell you when I said to her? Did the cat hag tell you what I whispered in her ear? When you saw Natsume Hagigi's letters in my room, what did you think, Aoi? I've got no interest in befalling Idol herself. What she was thinking. Who cares? But, once I found myself standing there watching, I got to see a real amusing sight. Goodbye, Aoi. I'll treasure that look on your face the rest of my life. What a heinous individual. Aoi put a lot of trust into Akari, and it felt like this was one huge backstab. Like, when she said that Aoi was amusing to be around, that was probably the whole tick. She had 6 months to sacrifice to doing something, and Natsume's idol crumbling and being around Aoi was that kind of thing that she wanted to use that time for. Oh, you're here already? Feels like it's been a while. Had 3 days off and all. By the way, you gotta have the Culture Festival article done right now, right? Give me here, I'll check it. Are you listening? Bottles, take this. Resignation? Did something happen? Abby? No way, she did all that, huh? I was just a third party who had no connection to Natsume. That's why I thought I could investigate calmly while people watched. I didn't feel even slightly afraid about knowing the truth. Akari told me, if we publicized the truth we learned, we would become connected to the Natsume incident. that it was possible doing that could cause problems for us later. She asked if I was prepared for that. I told Akari that I would fulfill my minimal duty as an indica. I don't know that word. And I was indeed prepared to do that. But I had only the naive perception that it would be someone else's business. And even imagined that it would cause this for me. From when Akari revealed the truth to when she left this room, it really went by in a blink. I could hardly say anything. I was just too shocked. I should have expressed my feelings to Akari better. I don't want you to go. I couldn't even say that. I can't do this anymore. That last look on Akari's face, I can't get it out of my head. If I hadn't investigated Natsume, I wouldn't have needed to have the worst goodbye with Akari. If I knew it'd mean parting from my best friend like this, I never would have wanted to know the truth. There's no point in knowing. There's nothing I could have changed. I don't want to remember what happened ever again. I don't want to think about Akari. I hate it. Now, I want to find some comfort. But if I'm in the newspaper association, it will just remind me of bad things. So, I'm sorry, Bottles. Abby is dead, you know. What? What? Abby you knew. Ah, that's what you were trying to say. I was thinking something didn't happen. The Abby you knew, your best friend Abby, she's dead. Never meeting again and dying. Sure, there's a big difference there, but they're the same if that you can't do a thing about. So don't you think it's a little easier to let go if you think of it as her being dead? Even if it's kind of extreme? I see what you're trying to do here. In my opinion, you can't heal the sadness of losing someone unless you meet someone who can take that place. When you're alone, you get thinking and can't get out of the bog. That's the last thing you'd want. You're still young, so I'm sure you'll meet somebody you can build a good relationship with, as long as you look for them. So until then, just gotta endure. Think of Abby as dead, because there's nothing you can do. Abby leaving you was her own decision, right? And she also decided how she was going to leave you. That means she chose to make your parting, which is entirely up to her own decision. The worst one possible. Her own discretion, sorry. Could be she saw that as a kindness. Parting with someone you hate won't stick with you long. I'd like to think I saw you two fairly well, and Abby seemed pretty fond of you. Can't imagine she had any ill will toward you, cause that didn't make what she did forgivable. So, cause that doesn't make what she did forgivable. Maybe she aired all her dirty truths when leaving so that you wouldn't be sad about the parting. Made you hate her on purpose. Also, just noticed that Aoi's got her eyes back. Cause I can say all I want, but there's no way to know what Abby was thinking. Well, it's all about perspective. No need to regret splitting up over an argument. Couldn't do anything about it. You were no match for her. Maybe you regret even being friends with Abby at all. But there's no mistaking that you had fun memories, right? So then treasure those. Value the fun times. Forget about the bad. Shove it out of your head. No point in holding on to bad memories of someone who's dead. Just keep the ones you can look back on happily. Just living with regret of loss from day to day is hard enough. You've seen plenty of that yourself, haven't you? Is it really fine to do just that? Maybe now it'll feel alien, but down the road, what Bottles said might be the best outcome. It's fine. At least that's how I've managed. When you go over 30 years as a guy who can't get a date, sometimes you gotta think of that way to get by. Damn it, Bottles, I'm turning 30 this year. One of those sneaky life skills adults pick up on. That's the sole advice I can give as a hopeless guy my age. And also, one more bit about this bit of advice. It's about this resignation. It's not good to make big decisions when you're super down, you know. You usually come to regret it. You're not calm right now. Until you can objectively look back on what's happened to you, how about you put quitting on hold? Luckily, you're the only member of the newspaper association, so we've got no competition plans. No need to rush a decision. But, well, that's my official stance. But honestly, I'd be in a pickle if we don't quit this instance. I'm incredibly shy. What do you mean? Don't you think it's a little soon to say for certain that your achievement was meaningless? Oh, you can come in. Oh, Sakura. I was just thinking of Sakura, actually. I was thinking your achievement was not meaningless. Because what you were allowed to do, Aoi, was allow some Sakura some finality. I'm sure you know her well, but I'll introduce you. This here's Prospective Newspaper Association Club member, Shiori Natsume. Why, I look forward to working with you both. Why? Sakura? The two of you investigating my sister's death finally made me feel like I could move forward. Yeah. Learning the truth is a very scary thing, so I never had that courage. But I've come to feel that knowing the truth is also a very important thing. Because of this, it's thanks to you two, but I feel this way. I'm forever grateful. I want to be someone who can properly see through to the truth of things. Like Ui-senpai and Abi-senpai. I want to be able to investigate on my own, observe the nature of things, and make a judgment. So I thought I'd like to learn that skill with the newspaper association. If I do, I feel like I could be like you two. That's the spirit, Natsume. There's loads of adults who can't see through to what's important. Training that now is essential. Huh? Come to think of it, you aren't with Abi-senpai today. Abby had some things come up, so she's dropped out of school as of Friday last week. Huh? Did she really? That's a shame. Abi-senpai encouraged me, so I wanted to thank her properly. Don't worry about it. Besides, she wasn't a member of the newspaper association anyway. Just thank her if you get a chance to meet someday. Might see her around soon enough. You're right. It's a little lonely, but I just have to get past it. I'll need to give my best efforts contributing here from now on. Oh, but I'll still be in the tennis team, so I'll only be able to come here when I have days off there. Sure, totally fine. You can just do it whenever you can spare the time. And if there's anything you want to know, ask away at Ui. She knows way more than me about what we do here. So yeah, count on you, Ui-senpai. Ui, what are you thinking? Thank you so much, Ui-senpai. I'm glad I finished signing up before the day was over. Tomorrow's Friday, meaning I have tennis off so I can get right to work. I hope you give me your support. You don't have to be that eager. You're busy, Sakura, so feel free to take it easy. No, I'm just excited to be able to work with you, Ui-senpai. Well, I'll get back to tennis now. I just slipped away for a bit to get signed up. Good luck. I'll be going home today, so bye. Ui-senpai? I'm sure you're lonely without Ari-senpai, but please cheer up, okay? I know I can't replace Abby-senpai, but I'll do my very best for the newspaper association. Thanks, Sakura. Well, see you tomorrow. Yes, good work today. Sakura's got the wrong idea. I don't see through to the truths of things at all. In fact, the opposite. By learning the truth, I'm just bewildered by the size of what I've discovered. But isn't there some kind of magnitude behind what it is that you discovered that nobody else was able to conclude to? Plus, I haven't told Sakura everything that happened to Natsume. In fact, I absolutely can't. I should never reveal the truth to a girl who was so delighted that her sister didn't die full of despair. Will I be able to get on with Sakura keeping a secret like this? Maybe I should have just quit, no matter what people said. But it'd be rude to reject her looking up to me that much. I wonder if Akari felt pained keeping secrets like this while being with me. Akari said she liked me, but now I don't know anymore. Maybe the truth was different. Akari being friendly to me as I thoughtlessly and comfortably looked up to her. Her confessing to everything at the end and leaving as a villain. If those things were Akari's kindness like Bottle said, maybe I should be thankful. But I can't separate things out so easily. Even supposing Akari was a bad person at her core, I still really like her. And now she's gone away. It's how you react to such an event that was of that magnitude, yeah. There were two idols before me. Natsume. One was Shiori Natsume, a figure adored by many, not just myself. I began investigating Natsume, instigated by her falling to death, resulting in her no longer being an idol to me. Shattered, or vined over, Natsume was a human who suffered, tied up to that top of a pedestal. She was a tragic person who met her end without ever fulfilling her desire. I'm sure I'll never forget that human Natsume. Whenever I recall Natsume from now on, I'll pray for happiness in her next life. People around her. The same surely goes for those she was close to. They can't forget their memories with her. They can't forget how they felt about her, even if those things were sorrowful. The flowers. Let those feelings we feel make a rainbow of flowers, offered in mourning to Natsume. To wish for that is the only thing I can do. The other idea within me was Akari, and that pedestal also fell, but in a different sense. We were ideal friends, respecting each other. Without even realizing it myself, I had enshrined Akari on a pedestal. And Akari kicked her pedestal, falling before my eyes. Damn. What did Akari see in the moment she fell and crumbled to pieces? Had Akari jumped off her pedestal wanting to see the sight for herself? Is Akari's fractured face smiling? Or else... I don't know anything anymore. I'm unable to search for the truth. I think you've already searched for the truth. All that I'm left with now is a pedestal without an idol. Knowing the truth, you gain to know more knowledge than you want to equip. What did I hope to do by knowing the truth? What did I want? Even if I stayed true to what I wanted to do, I got nothing from it. Even if it means your idol falling off her pedestal and crumbling, did you want to know the truth? Miss Aoi, please don't lose sight of what is most important to you and what your heart tells you to do. I've acted trusting only in what I wanted to do, and it produced this result. If a person chose to disappear of their own volition, I have to respect their decision, all the more so if they were important to me. Nothing but regret swirled around in my head, but as much as I consider it, there's only one thing that's certain. Abby is dead, you know. I know. There is one thing I learned from it. But one true thing left to me now, it's... Damn. Tears. In the autumn of 2013, someone irreplaceable to me died. Ending 3. Only the pedestal remains. I think in some ways that is the canonical ending to this outcome. But by gosh, was that such a mouthful to digest. There are so many twists and turns to that, but I was caught off guard as well. Like, the simple conclusion of, because, well, she just wants to do it to have a bit of fun. Like, there wasn't any past maliceness that Shiori and Akari had with each other. There was just that she saw Shiori and that teacher that both kind of passed away in a similar kind of vein as in the school. They were quite similar but also very different, so Akari had to approach them in different manners. Status menu on title screen updated. So what is it now? I still can't go to the statue part though. Yeah, that hasn't changed. Like, I can't get to the statue part, even though I've done all the endings. What is there to see if I cannot go into it? Now, I can't open that statue section for some odd reason. Perhaps there's something that I've not done in the game that is denying me from being able to actually access it. Oh, there's a bug going on and I cannot access it until a patch comes out. But yeah. But looking up a YouTube video is definitely accessible. But it's just the fact that I don't want to go through the entire game again, just in the hopes that I could get that one thing to then trigger the statue option from being able to be unlocked. And it's just essentially just a set of pedestals with each of the characters on a statue of sorts. Yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed this game. It has been such a wonderful endeavor to go through, and the truth is sometimes something that is a thing that you cannot possibly weigh, especially in that given point in time. Like, when you reach the conclusion of what you want to go out and investigate, sometimes that investigation doesn't lead you down a path in which you wanted to pursue in the first place, and perhaps only by then it is too late to try and withdraw from the path in which you have started walking on. And Aoi, I'm not sure what really happened there at the end with Aoi. Does she indeed continue to do newspaper association work, or did she actually reveal to Bottles and Sakura that at that point in time she has decided to call it quits because of staying at the club would mean bad things? You can only speculate from what happened afterwards. But I thoroughly enjoyed this game. There's so many things going on throughout this game. There's so many angles in which you could possibly draw from. And it's not something that I could probably fully divulge in this conclusion of this video. But when it comes to storytelling, this is probably one of my top 10 favorite games of all time I've played on the channel. Like, it's been wonderful from start to finish. I don't feel like there was a portion of the game where I didn't like, except from Aoi always being the center focus at the very start of a game, with Akari just being the side character. But I think at the same time, that's the sort of thing that Akari would want, isn't it now? But that reveal at the end with Akari, it's just like the only excuse she had was that she fancied doing something like that. She wanted to see a high pedestal crumble. And in order to make that pedestal crumble, she targeted the few links in which allowed that pedestal to stay upright. Damn. There's also the fact as well as Aoi is his closest friend from that point. That makes it hurt for Aoi even more. Like, she discovered the truth, and Akari was outside there the whole time. It's like she didn't go away. I think Akari did intend to allow Aoi to see what went on, and then go from there. Like, Akari knew Aoi's weaknesses, and by investigating more, then at some point she would have concluded that Akari was the main catalyst behind why these friendships were being severed, starting with Hakagigi, and then you draw from there a pattern, then from Mayuki, and then the cat hag lady. So when Shiori brought up the subject of not wanting to talk about something to Hakagigi, it was the fact that the cat hag lady basically cut ties with Shiori Natsume. And then from there, the pedestal pieces started falling down. And then when the accident happened on the rooftop, then the pedestal just shattered into so many pieces that it was just incomprehensible to try and put it together. It's impossible to put back together a pedestal that is no longer having a heart to beat. Thank you so much for watching, and I think there was probably something that I missed out on the game which denied me from accessing the statue part. And if you can tell me what that is, because there's nowhere on vgperson's like walkthrough page, but it's like, if you do this action, then you'll be able to unlock it. Because it did say that the menu page was updated, but it probably is just like slightly pinker. But that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you very much for watching, and take care of yourselves.